Okay. Hey, take 33. You don't know how many technical difficulties I had tonight attacking kitten cats that are the size of like small bears. Anyway, this poem is for you, obviously, man. I told you I was going to do this. So, it's basically about Jim Morrison, the lead vocalist of the Doors. Was the Doors, although he couldn't have done it without the musicians. But they blended, bunch of intelligentsia, West Coast maniacs, artists. But anyway, Giagwich, Tajikatamatu, Shemas Padago Kahasi. That's hello or God to you. How you doing? I'm James Patrick Casey. Anyway, wrote this poem. Oh my God. I think the dinosaurs were still on the earth then. It was like August of, I don't know, Sean, had the world turned color yet? It was August 13th, 1983. Yes. Oh my God. It's what? It's the 31st of March 2017. We survived the millennium. We survived 2012, December 21st, the end of the world. We survived the end of the world. We're still here. What are we going to do? Anyway, all right, enough jokes. Let's have a real joke now about poetry. Poetry comes in all forms, It's spoken, written, thought, and played to music. It's an expression of our innermost being. And Erato is Erato, the Greek goddess of the muse. And there's a muse in Irish, but the goddess's name skips my mind. And to tell you the truth, it's said that if you ask for her help, you could get successful, but you might go crazy. Anyway, so I'm not going to mention her name. Anyway, this is to the dead poet king of the lizards, Jim Morrison. The doors were wide open and red, full of beans and meat. In the sweat, in the gleam of the quartz, in the heat, the fountain dried up like a buzzard's tongue upon the square where the ants died and dried up into beads that the people strung into necklaces and sold 20 miles away on the seashore. A single awning slashed into the white blazing oven from the Cafe El Gringo. White shoes and spats, there in long hair sat a long, lean guitar of a man, fingering a bowl of whiskey. That's really a candle. It's not whiskey. Can't drink wax anyway. Earthquake! Should we start all over again? All right, ladies and germs, kitties and cats. Be serious. I said I was going to be serious. To the dead poet, king of the lizards, Jim Morrison, and I hope wherever you are, you can hear this, Mrs. Calloway. Mrs. Calabash. Wherever you are, Mrs. Calabash. You have to be a dinosaur to get that. A boomer dinosaur. Us boomer dinosaurs. Anyway. Alright. Getting distracted. Alright. So, center and balance. Ladies and germs, kitties and cats. Here it is. To the dead poet, king of the lizards, Jim Morrison. The doors were wide open and red, full of beans and meat. In the sweat, in the gleam of the quartz, in the heat, the fountain dried up like a buzzard's tongue upon the square where the ants died and they dried up into beads that the people strung into necklaces and sold 20 miles away on the seashore. A single awning slashed into the white blazing oven from the Cafe El Gringo. And there, in long hair, white shoes, and spats, sat a long, lean guitar of a man, fingering a bowl of whiskey, hovering over sheets of paper, splashing everywhere. The pen scratch, the only sound other than the generator. His cough was the echo of Brendan Behan. His phlegm the color Hemingway. His pants were striped in psychedelic creases of color. And his eyes drove the heat away. The merry pranksters roared into town like Clint Eastwood on acid, and he smiled and watched the eddies of the dust cloud as their bus disappeared, cleaving heaves into the riddles of time. His mind, it lifted up the rocks and turned them over. His music swarmed out like an angry bagpipe, a gentle breeze of wizards' teeth and Celtic toil. Flutes on armies of golden butterflies, drums beneath herds of worms, whistles in the mouths of flocks of fish, screams in the bubbles of oil roaring through the machines that sent clouds of birds floating up and up and up on the wind of the condor. Ah, if only he had lived to see the ugly ducklings run and fly, to see the little lizards cast off their leather skins, run and claim the rainbows in the azure heavens, the children laughing past the broken bowl of dried up whiskey and the boarded up Cafe El Gringo. The water flowing in the fountain in the square, spraying its mist over the flowers in the grass. Thank you. Guru Margaret. Namaste.